The ship hummed softly as Captain Elias leaned against the console, staring at the kaleidoscope of stars beyond the viewport. Beside him sat Myra, the ship's xenobiologist, her eyes darting between her datapad and the endless void outside. This sector of space was supposed to be empty. No charts, no stations, just a barren expanse. Yet here they were, chasing a faint signal unlike anything they'd ever encountered. The beacon had first appeared as a blip on their scanners, pulsing faintly but distinctly. It wasn't mechanical, nor was it natural. It was something in between, something alive. The crew of the Odyssey had spent weeks following its trail, deeper and deeper into uncharted territory, driven by equal parts curiosity and unease. Then, without warning, the signal stopped. Myra frowned. "It's gone." Elias scanned the empty void beyond the ship's windows. There was nothing, just the same cold emptiness they had traveled through for weeks. But then a light blinked, just on the edge of his vision, like a star flickering in and out of existence. He turned toward it, and suddenly, the ship was engulfed in a wave of brilliance. When the light faded, they were no longer alone. A massive vessel hung in space before them, unlike anything they'd ever seen. Its surface shimmered as if it were made of liquid metal, constantly shifting and reforming itself. Strange glyphs glowed faintly across its hull, and its shape seemed to defy logic, angles twisting in ways the mind struggled to comprehend. Elias felt his breath catch. "What is that?" Before Myra could respond, the ship's systems flickered, and a soft voice filled the cabin. It spoke in no language they knew, yet they understood it perfectly, as if the meaning bypassed their ears and went straight to their minds. "You seek knowledge." The voice wasn't threatening, but it was undeniably alien. Elias nodded hesitantly. "We followed your signal. We wanted to know who, or what you are." There was a pause, then the voice spoke again. "We are the echo. We exist between moments in the spaces you cannot see. You seek to know the galaxy's most mysterious species, and so you have found us." The words sent a chill down Elias's spine. "You sent the signal?" "No," the voice replied. "We are the signal." Myra's eyes widened as she began recording everything on her datapad. "Are you saying you're a living species? A collective intelligence?" The voice didn't answer directly. Instead, the shimmering vessel began to change. Its surface rippled, and figures emerged, humanoid but featureless, their bodies composed of the same liquid metal as the ship. They stood motionless, observing Elias and Myra with blank faces. "We are not bound by time or form as you are," the voice continued. "We are the recorders of the galaxy, the keepers of its truths. Long before your kind emerged, we watched. We do not interfere, only observe." Elias stepped closer to the viewport, his heart racing. "If you've been observing for so long, then you must know. What's out there? What secrets does the galaxy hold?" One of the figures tilted its head, as if considering the question. "To reveal all truths is to strip away wonder. Your journey matters more than the destination. But know this, the galaxy is alive in ways you cannot yet comprehend. You are not alone, and you are not the first to seek us." Myra spoke up, her voice trembling with curiosity. "Have others found you? Other species?" The figure closest to them shimmered, and a projection appeared before their eyes. It showed countless worlds, each teeming with life, some familiar, some utterly alien. Civilizations rose and fell, stars were born and died, and through it all, the echo watched silently. Myra's hand flew to her mouth. "It's beautiful." Elias turned back to the figures. "Why did you let us find you?" The voice grew softer, almost melancholic. "Because your kind is at a crossroads. You are capable of great creation and great destruction. We have seen both paths. We allowed you to find us so you might remember the vastness of existence and choose wisely." The figures began to dissolve, merging back into the shimmering hull of the vessel. The glyphs on its surface flared brightly, and the voice spoke one final time. Do not squander the stars. Your choices echo across eternity. Before Elias or Myra could respond, the vessel vanished in a flash of light, leaving the Odyssey alone in the void once more. For a long time, neither of them spoke. The stars beyond the viewport seemed different now, no longer cold and distant but alive with possibilities. Finally, Elias broke the silence. What do we tell Earth? Myra smiled faintly, her eyes still fixed on the endless expanse. The truth. And let them wonder. The Odyssey turned, its engines igniting as it began its journey back home. But something lingered in the hearts of its crew, a profound sense of connection to something far greater than themselves. The echo had left them with no answers, only questions, and perhaps that was the greatest gift of all. The journey back to Earth was anything but ordinary. The crew of the Odyssey found themselves haunted by the encounter with the echo. At first, it was the dreams, vivid, surreal visions of galaxies being born, alien worlds teeming with unimaginable life, and strange beings made of light, energy, or forms so fluid they defied physics. Myra was the first to mention them, hesitantly sharing her experiences with Elias over a quiet meal in the mess hall. They feel too real to just be dreams, she said, her voice low. Like I'm remembering something that didn't happen to me. Elias nodded, his expression unreadable. He had been having the same visions, though he hadn't told anyone yet. But it wasn't just dreams. The ship itself seemed different. The systems ran more efficiently than ever, even when the engineers couldn't explain how or why. The engines consumed less fuel, the navigational AI occasionally adjusted their course in subtle ways that always shaved minutes off their travel time, and the onboard sensors started picking up faint signals, patterns in the cosmic background radiation that seemed to hum with meaning just out of reach. It was as if the echo had left behind a fragment of itself, embedded in the Odyssey like an unseen passenger. As they drew closer to the Sol system, the crew convened in the central briefing room. Elias stood at the head of the table, Myra beside him. Around them, the faces of their team reflected a mix of awe, confusion, and a hint of fear. They had all felt it, the subtle shift in the ship, the dreams, the strange signals. We need to decide what to tell command, Elias began, his voice steady but heavy with the weight of responsibility. What we experienced out there isn't just another anomaly. It's something bigger, something that could change everything. One of the engineers, a grizzled man named Kareem, leaned forward. And how do we explain it? Oh, by the way, we met an ancient alien intelligence that exists outside time and space, and they told us to play nice with the universe? They'll laugh us out of the room, or worse, they'll think we're compromised. Myra spoke up, her tone firm. We can't hide this. The Echo didn't contact us just to be forgotten. They showed us what's out there, the sheer scale of life in the galaxy. People need to know. Myra spoke up, her tone firm. We can't hide this. The Echo didn't contact us just to be forgotten. They showed us what's out there, the sheer scale of life in the galaxy. People need to know. But how much? Asked Dr. Vesh, the ship's astrophysicist. If we reveal everything, governments will fight over the knowledge. Corporations will exploit it. Militaries will try to weaponize it. What if the Echo was warning us against doing exactly that? The room fell silent, the weight of the decision pressing down on them. Elias stared out the viewport, watching the distant glow of the sun growing brighter. He thought about what the Echo had said, that their choices would echo across eternity. What if this was one of those choices? After a long pause, he turned back to the crew. We don't give them everything. Not yet. We tell them about the signal, about the encounter with the vessel, but we keep the details vague. No mention of the visions or the knowledge they showed us. Not until we know how the world will handle it. The crew murmured their agreement, though the unease in the room was palpable. They knew they were walking a fine line, balancing the truth against the potential for chaos. But none of them could shake the feeling that the Echo was still watching, silently observing their every move. When the Odyssey finally docked at Earth's orbital station, the crew was met with a flurry of questions. Command demanded answers, desperate to know why a routine exploratory mission had deviated so far off course. Elias and Myra stuck to their story: a faint signal, an uncharted alien vessel, and a brief, enigmatic communication before the ship disappeared. As expected, the revelation sent shockwaves through Earth's scientific and political communities. The discovery of the Echo, however vague the details, sparked a frenzy of speculation. Was it a warning? An invitation? Or simply a cosmic anomaly that humanity was never meant to encounter? Theories multiplied like wildfire, and debates raged across news channels and scientific forums. But behind closed doors, the crew of the Odyssey grappled with a deeper mystery. The dreams continued, growing more vivid with each passing night. Myra began sketching strange symbols she didn't recognize, only to find them perfectly matching ancient glyphs from Earth's oldest civilizations. Kareem reported hearing faint whispers in the ship's corridors, though the security cameras detected nothing. And Elias felt a presence, an almost imperceptible pull, as if the Echo had left something inside him. An unanswered question, a seed waiting to grow. Months passed, and humanity changed. The encounter with the Echo ignited a new wave of exploration, as ships ventured farther into the galaxy, hoping to find more traces of the mysterious species. But the Odyssey crew remained quiet about the deeper truths they had glimpsed, guarding them like a fragile ember in a storm. One night, as Elias stood alone on the observation deck, staring at the stars, he felt the familiar hum, the same soft resonance they had heard when the Echo first appeared. He turned sharply, but there was no one there. And yet, a voice whispered in his mind, faint but unmistakable. "The journey continues." Elias smiled, a chill running down his spine. Somewhere out there, the Echo was still watching, still waiting. And perhaps, just perhaps, they hadn't seen the last of the galaxy's most mysterious species.